Hello everyone. There is only one day left until the date when the Ukrainian armed forces began their counteroffensive in the Kharkiv region. They conducted it very successfully, liberating a vast territory quite swiftly. Today, everyone is eagerly awaiting this date because there is a high probability that history might repeat itself. Specifically, today, there is a significant likelihood that the offensive will occur in the same direction as the Russians have concentrated all their forces on the Zaporizhia direction to prevent the Ukrainian forces from reaching Tokmak and breaking through their last line of defense, thereby weakening the Lugansk group. Even experts today are stating that they expect a major surprise from the general staff. However, as we can see, for now, the main thrust is in the Zaporizhia direction. The Ukrainian armed forces are currently engaged in tactical battles. There haven't been major assault operations here for almost a week. This might indicate preparations for large-scale actions. However, even in the course of tactical battles, there have been minor successes. Hence, the General Staff hasn't officially declared them yet, and meanwhile, the Russians are already complaining that the Ukrainian forces are making real progress without stopping and pushing them out of their positions. A significant advancement occurred yesterday in the area of Очеретувати. The Ukrainian forces are getting closer to the village, moving in the gray area. Therefore, we are eagerly awaiting the assault on the village and an immediate entry into operational spaces. Today, experts have already calculated that approximately 40% of the Russian defenses have been breached. About 40% remain. It took approximately 3 summer months to achieve this breakthrough because they were searching for the right approach and advancement tactics. Now, theoretically, the remaining 40% of Russian defenses will likely be breached in about 2 months. However, all of this is theoretical. In practice, we can see that very tough battles are taking place. So we are waiting to see how the front line will continue to evolve. Friends, before we continue, I'd like to ask you to share this video on social media and watch it to the end. It will greatly help promote my channel. Thank you. In the Vuhledar direction, tactical battles are also taking place. Today, it's known that the occupiers are trying to regain their positions in the area of Priutne. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian armed forces continue to move towards Volodine, aiming to reach Staromlinivka from the side. As a result, there are ongoing clashes that haven't led to changes along the front line. Additionally, the occupiers continue to intensively shell the entire front line. Furthermore, Putin commented on the Ukrainian armed forces counteroffensive during his meeting with Erdogan, stating that it had failed.
В том числе с помощью беспилотников, которые направляются на эти атаки из портов, украинских портов черноморских. Ну вот надо обо всем договориться, на том, что ничего подобного происходить дальше не будет, а обещания, данные России, будут исполнены. Все, мы вернемся. У нас здесь нет никаких проблем. По пробуксовке и контрнаступлению, это не пробуксовка, это провал. Во всяком случае, на сегодняшний день это выглядит именно так. Посмотрим. Что дальше будет? Надеюсь, что дальше будет именно так.
It appears that due to the perceived failure of the counteroffensive, the Russians have decided to mobilize an additional 200,000 people, as stated in the document, by no later than the first day of the 11th month. This means that in slightly less than 2 months, Russia intends to increase its military presence in Ukraine by another 200,000 personnel. Whether this document is authentic is hard to determine, but the prospect of mobilization has been discussed previously. In the Kherson direction, it was reported last evening that several explosions occurred in Oleshki, resulting in a fire. Details are still scarce, The occupiers also continue to shell frontline settlements, but no offensive actions have been reported, and the front line remains unchanged. However, Ukrainian sources report that the Ukrainian forces maintain their positions confidently on the left bank, and the Russian army has conducted airstrikes with FAB-500 bombs in the vicinity of Dach. This information hasn't been officially confirmed now. In the Kupiansk direction, it seems that the occupiers face significant setbacks. Their breakthrough for several kilometers has come to a halt, and even the number of shelling incidents has decreased. According to preliminary information, the Ukrainian armed forces are engaged in tactical battles, trying to regain their lost positions during the Russian attacks. Currently, there is approximately a 200-meter advance, but we'll need to wait for confirmation. In the vicinity of Svatovo, the Ukrainian armed forces have repelled all Russian attacks. Despite the Russians employing the well-known Storm Z units for their attacks with tank and artillery support, they haven't achieved success. Additionally, the Ukrainian armed forces have successfully destroyed pontoon bridges to prevent tanks from crossing the river and conducting offensive actions. Certainly, they haven't managed to destroy all of the crossing points, but there have been successes. As it stands today, the front line remains unchanged, and the occupiers are only carrying out shelling attacks. In the areas of Kremenna and Siversk, the situation remains stable with ongoing shelling, but no offensive actions reported. In the Bakhmut direction, the Ukrainian armed forces are preparing a platform for railway advancement, but the occupiers continue to send reserves here to establish their defense. Therefore, today, in line with the Ukrainian armed forces' plans for advancing to encircle Bakhmut, there is significant destruction of the Russian army. Over the past day, there have been no changes along the front line, and the shelling continues. In the Avdiivka direction, the situation has stabilized for now, and it's reported that President Zelensky visited this direction yesterday. It appears that the occupiers cannot encircle Avdiivka at the moment. All attacks in the area of Severne have been unsuccessful, and today only shelling continues. To the south, battles are ongoing for the outskirts of Marinka and in the areas of Krasnogorivka and Novomykhailivka. The Russians have once again suffered losses and retreated to their previous positions. Thus, the front line remains unchanged. In the Belgorod region, the Russians are actively building up their air defense systems. The governor has mentioned that they were not prepared for such a development of events.
Месяц около от 1,5 до 2 тысяч человек ежедневно работают на объектах ПВО. По сути дела, перестраивая его, потому что они столкнулись с совершенно другими вызовами. Не те, которые классические они готовились. Совершенно другими, более сложными, более технологически сложными. Поэтому те объекты, которые ранее были приготовлены, их, по сути дела, пришлось заново строить.
Некоторые площадки для размещения систем ПВО были построены буквально за сутки. Это не фигура речи, это факт. 24 часа. И там, где не было ничего, стоит насыпь для панциря или радара, а вокруг небольшой городок. Баня, душ, столовая, водоснабжение.
12 часов ночи, загнали технику, начали все переделывать. С утра я вышел с дежурства, уже полпозиции снесли, поставили забор, новые поставили. В течение 4 дней мы полностью оборудовали позицию, подключили водопровод, электроэнергию.
However, it's not just the Belgorod region that is preparing for new drone attacks. In the Bryansk region, it was reported yesterday evening that they had shot down a drone attempting to attack a power station. It was intercepted using electronic warfare means. Overall, things are going according to plan. Meanwhile, the pilot of the Russian Mi-8 helicopter Maxim Kuzminov, which was relocated to Ukraine, claimed that during the final stage of the operation, he tried to persuade the crew members to surrender to the Ukrainian side. However, they became frightened, started behaving aggressively, and ran toward the border after landing. According to the pilot, he didn't just steal the helicopter, but officially transferred it from point A to point B, since the route and landing location had been agreed upon in advance.
Задание вот передано с точки А в точку Б. Вот, уже заранее был согласован маршрут, точка, место посадки. В 16:30 я выполнил взлет. Далее перелет, взлет у меня был с аэродрома Курск в Харьковскую область, примерно 20 километров от границы. Далее, уже где-то в районе населенного пункта Шебекино я летел на предельно малой высоте, 5-10 метров, в режиме радиомолчания. Далее, при пересечении уже непосредственно границы, по мне начали вести огонь. Кто его вел, я точно сказать не могу, но предполагаю, что российская сторона. И я был ранен ногу. Со стрелкового оружия. Далее, примерно, да, вот, как я и сказал, 20 километров я отлетел, выполнил посадку в месте указанном. После выполнения посадки со мной было 2 члена экипажа. Оружия у нас при себе не было, летчики у нас летают без оружия. Вот. Никто мне не смог оказать никакого сопротивления, ввиду того, что штурман просто, у него нет навыков пилотирования вертолетом. Я ребят успокаивал, сказал, что все хорошо, здесь живут хорошие люди, все будет у нас замечательно. Вот. Но они начали бояться, начали немножко агрессивно себя вести. Вот. И, получается, выбежали из вертолета в сторону границы. Вот. Дальнейшая судьба мне неизвестна, но, как следует уже из СМИ, да, то, что возможно, что их ликвидируют.
As we can see, even Russians themselves don't want to live there and are fleeing at the first opportunity. Friends, that's all from me. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you. Bye-bye.